The secretary can now call the roll.
Senator Sykes,
Present.
Senator Hackett,
Here.
Senator Brenner,
Present.
Representative Olslaker,
I think you're muted, Senate Representative.
Scott, you're muted. Should be on the bottom.
Can you hear me? I'm here.
Perfect.
gotcha.
Okay.
Representative Wilkin,
I'm here.
and Representative Crawley.
Present.
And then President Zimfer.
Present. Thank you. The minutes of the April 19th meeting have been distributed. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved, Mr. President.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
A motion and a second. The minutes are approved. We have a few announcements. First, thank you for Senator Brenner and Senator Hackett for joining today. Second, we have a few amendments. Item number 50, DMH 0101145. After the agenda was posted, the memorandum of understanding was added to the item. Next, the next two, numbers 91 and 93, both just have an updated vendor signed contract that were added to both items after the agenda was posted. Next, we have one late addition, item number 96, which is JFS 01000599, will be considered by the board as a late addition to the regular agenda. It was added after the original agenda was posted publicly. In order to consider this item, the board will hear testimony from the agency representative. At that point, there'll be an opportunity for members to ask any questions of the agency. After we're done with the question section portion of that, then we will take a vote to consider whether or not the item should be added to the regular public agenda for further consideration. So you'll have an opportunity to ask questions as soon as the Department of Job and Family Services is done providing testimony, but you would then also, should the item make the agenda, have another opportunity to ask questions as it would be a regular item should it make the agenda. So at this point, we will ask the Department of Job and Family Services to step up to the virtual podium.
Good afternoon, President Zimfer and members of Controlling Board. My name is Brian Stout. I'm the Legislative Liaison with the Ohio Department of Job and Family Services.
Thank you, Mr. Stout. So if you could provide an overview of the item and why it is late and needs to be considered.
Most certainly, President Zimfer. This request before the Controlling Board for consideration onto the regular agenda is a request for $39 million for the purposes of unemployment insurance administration funds. The funds are 100% federal funds. We are requesting the appropriation authority to expend those funds in order to meet operational needs. So the funds that are currently being requested would pay for services such as staff payroll within the unemployment section, as well as vendor services. And so services that would benefit from this particular approval would relate to customer service, contact center, things of that nature, also anti-fraud efforts that the department has historically done and continues to update to combat unemployment fraud, as well as adjudication services in order to adjudicate an individual's particular claim once they have filed that with the department. The reason that we are asking this to be added at this time is that this is part of a broader request that we have made of the legislature and conversations that we have had relative to a total $71 million, all federal funds, in order to ensure that these services and these payments are continued to be provided and rendered. The $71 million total we anticipate will last us through this current state fiscal year and support the unemployment operations and enhanced fraud prevention efforts that we are partaking along with the P3 group. Due to some timing constraints in the legislative process, we were unable to get the full $71 million in a bill and passed and enacted prior to some operational needs that we have encountered. Therefore, we are requesting a portion of the $71 million, the $39 million before you today, in order to sustain those programs to allow for the legislative process and discussions to continue.
Thank you, Mr. Stout. Are there any questions at this point?
This Senator Hackett, yeah, Brian, also, can you explain too that we, we're close to the 180 million cap limit for 2021. So that's why the request is only for 39 million at this time. So it'll keep us under that cap.
Yeah, that's correct. Senator, President Zenfer to Senator Hackett, members of the board, the senator is absolutely correct. Current revised code limits the authority of controlling board to a certain dollar amount based off of the total GRF appropriation envisioned in House Bill 166 in this case, and therefore the $39 million is arrived at. We had previously gone to controlling board this state fiscal year and requested some $140 million, an increase in appropriation authority to expend, again, 100% federal funds in order to meet the concerns and the issues and the operations around the pandemic. That was approved by controlling board this fall. I believe it was September. And so the request we're making currently for the $39 million will kind of bridge the gap. And hopefully the rest of the $71 million will go through the full legislative process. We intended for the entire $71 million to go through the entire legislative process. Unfortunately, because of timing, it wasn't able. So that's why we're requesting the $39 million. Yes, that's correct.
Thanks, Senator Hackett. Are there any additional questions? Again, at this time? Seeing none, are there any objections to adding this item as late to the public agenda for further consideration? Hearing and seeing none, the item has been added to the regular agenda for further consideration, so don't go anywhere.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. Okay. On to the regular agenda. Are there any holds, no votes, or abstentions? Senator Sykes.
Mr. President, no holds.
Senator Hackett.
Mr. President, no holds.
Thank you. Senator Brenner.
No holds.
Representative Volslager.
No holds, Mr. President.
Representative Wilkin.
No holds.
And Representative Crawley.
Item number 3.
Item number 3. Is there a motion to give blanket approval to all items not held for question?
So moved, Mr. President.
Is there a second?
Second.
With a motion and a second, all items not held for questions are approved. Will the secretary now read the order of agenda items?
All right, on page 1, I have items 1 and 2 as approved. Item 3 is held for questions by Representative Crawley, and that's an Attorney General's Office request. Items 4 through 6 are approved. Page 2, items 7 through 13 are approved. Page 3, items 14 to 21 are approved. Page 4 is approved. Page 5 is approved. Page 6, that's items 36 to 43 is approved. Page 7, that's 44 through 50 is approved. Page 8 is approved. Page 9 is approved. Page 10, items 66 through 73 is approved. Page 11 is approved. Page 12, that's items 81 through 87 is approved. Page 13 is approved. And page 14, that's items 95 and 96 are approved.
If your item has not been held, which is all but one, please leave the meeting. Attorney General's office, please stick around. All right, just let this clear out a little bit. And then it's almost like waiting for people to leave, just so everything gets reorganized. All right. Item number 3, the Attorney General's office. Who do we have with us?
President Zinfer, my name is Jay Easterling. I'm the CFO for the Attorney General's office.
Thanks for being here. Representative Crawley, please proceed.
Thank you, President Zinfer, and thank you, Mr. Easterling, for being here today. I just have one quick question. So I know that Promega Corporation is one that it has a manufacturer that has been validated and approved by BCI. So I'm just curious, are there any other manufacturers that were or are approved by BCI that's been validated, or is this the only manufacturer?
President Zinfer, to the representative, I'm not sure that I understand. Are you talking for this particular purpose or?
For this particular purpose that the request is for.
President Zinfer, to the representative, no. For the TCAN robotic equipment, the consumables that Promega and LifeTech, so I guess I was wrong. LifeTech also supplies some of these consumables as well, but they are programmed specifically for a certain kind of not only reagent, but as you know, the pipettes and the different consumables that it takes to run those. So for the sake of standards and consistency and continued results that law enforcement are expecting, we try to stick with the Promega product. I believe that we will use LifeTech equipment and consumables if we're unable to get the Promega supplies, but Promega is the preferred source and the number one vendor that we use for this.
Okay, so just for clarification, you all have used this manufacturer prior to, or is this the manufacturer that's like industry standard? Okay, all right, cool. Thank you. No other questions, President.
Thank you, Representative.
Thank you.
Do any other members have questions at this time? Seeing and hearing none, are there any objections to this item? Seeing and hearing no objections, the item is approved. And that being the only item held today, we have no further business before the controlling board, and we are adjourned.